Gwan Beautiful People.
What's up, guys?
Welcome once again to another episode of Cooking with Nino. So today, again, I'm on this kick about comfort food. And today I'm going to be making for you a classic comfort dish. I'm going to get started here by introducing all my ingredients. Such, I've got 2 whole chicken breasts that I've cut up. I've diced them up. I have big chunks. I've got some carrots here, some peas. Got a medium-sized onions that I've diced. I've got roughly about 4 ounces of butter here, 1 clove of garlic. Got some flour, some fresh thyme leaves, and of course I've got me a couple eggs that I'm going to be using for my egg wash. And let us not forget some olive oil back here, as well as some puff pastry and their chicken broth. Start off my ingredients with using roughly about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, okay? Just to get the chicken pot pie going, I'm going to grab my butter, which I've got roughly about 4 ounces of butter. I'm just going to drop that in my, just get my chicken in the pan. I'm going to be sauteing my chicken. And just before, once I cut up my chicken, I've actually seasoned it up with some salt and pepper, as well as a little bit of onion and garlic powder, okay? Just to get some flavors involved with the chicken. So we've got our sauteing our chicken here, all right? And I'm gonna be dumping, I've got some garlic here. Okay, it's a 1 clove, I've just chopped it up. I'm just gonna dump that in with my chicken. Give it a little stir. And I just love to build this flavor. As well, I've got a medium-sized onion. I'm just gonna dump that in as well. And guys, I kind of got all these ingredients ready ahead of time, just so we can just get right into the cooking process. So if you'd like to know how to chop an onion or chop garlic, you can always refer to Cooking with Nino, the basic cooking version. Okay, I've got little videos done demoing all these things. All right, we just get it all sauteed, get them all knowing each other and loving each other. And I'm gonna be dumping in my fresh thyme leaves. Just dump her in there. Just get everything all sauteed and getting to know one another. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on this back burner, because I'd like to get my chicken. I'm going to be using some chicken stock, but I'd like to get the chicken stock warmed up rather than just pouring it in when it's cold. So right now I'm going to be putting in about 2 cups of chicken stocks. About 2 cups of chicken stocks in there. I think I'm going to need a little bit more than that. So I'm just going to be adding some more. I'm gonna get the chicken cooking with the onions and the garlic and the butter. And let me just grab my chicken stock here. I'm gonna add a little bit more, because I'd like to get about 4 cups. There we go. That's about plenty. So we've got our olive oil, we've got our butter in there. So I'm gonna be adding to this 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, because I'm going to be making a bit of a roux here. So just get the flour in there. I'm just going to put 2.5. How about that? Now I'm going to be saving the rest of the flour for the puff pastry. Okay, when we get the puff pastry ready, and we're just going to get this going a bit, just to cook get the flour all cooked. Okay, so we don't have our dish tasting like raw flour. Look at that. And I'm probably just going to add, I don't think I'm going to have time to warm this this chicken stock, so I'm just going to pour it right in. Okay, we'll start off with 2 cups, and we'll come back for the rest later. Let's just get this going, because we want to ensure that we get a nice thick gravy going for a chicken pot pie. I suspect that the flour is gonna thicken up and we're gonna have a nice thick gravy. So I might have to put a little bit more stock in there. I'm also gonna add to this some 35% cream, which is gonna make it nice and creamy. We want the dish to be hearty and creamy and just absolutely delightful. So I can see that now, it's getting thick. Let me just grab my 35% cream. Gonna add a wee bit more chicken stock to this. So what we're looking at is roughly about 3.5 cups of chicken stock. I can just feel it. I can feel the bottom of this pan, like it is getting nice and rich. And as it goes on, it gets thicker and thicker. So I'm just gonna add a wee bit of my 35% cream, probably about a quarter of a cup. Okay, just to get it nice and rich and add to that flavor and absolutely, you know, the entire texture of the dish. Look at that. And some salt and pepper. I'm talking maybe about a teaspoon of pepper and a teaspoon of salt. Just for flavor. All right, let's go back to it. And look at that. You can see the nice richness of the chicken pot pie. The sauce is forming, and it's very important to taste your dish as you go along. Okay, so let me just grab a spoon. I'm gonna give it a little taste. Oh, that is delicious. I love that. All right. So we practically got this all cooked, all ready to go. I'm just gonna turn my stove down to a medium. All right. And I'm gonna be dumping the rest of my vegetables in there. So I've got some diced carrots here, about 1.5 cups of diced carrots. Dump that in. And I've got roughly about another 1.5 cups of green pea. Just gonna get that in there as well. So now we've got a nice balance. We've got the peas. You can use frozen peas or you can use canned peas. It's entirely up to you. Now, the only other thing I would add to this, if I had it, was probably some pearl onions and maybe even some mushrooms if you like mushrooms. All right, so now that we've got this all done, I'm gonna turn my stove off and just let it sit there and cool. I'm gonna be filling my chicken pot pie dish with the chicken pot pie, so I'm going to be getting them in there. Okay, just get a ladle and just start putting a nice little helping in there. You're going to get lots of chunks of chicken and, you know, all the goodies in there. Okay, just going to fill them up. Some are going to have a little bit more chicken than others, but we're going to try to balance off the whole thing. All right, that's plenty in there. Chicken pot pie dish. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting a little, I've got some egg wash here. I've just beat a couple of eggs here. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of the egg wash on the edge of the bowl. Okay, and this is just going to act as a bit of a glue. Okay, just kind of put it on the edge here just so we can, it's a bit of an adhesive. All right, so then we're just gonna grab one and just put over top. All right, and as we put it over top, we just kind of fold the edge and just kind of seal it. Okay, you can pull down on the pastry and just help it to kind of seal and create a nice seal around. We can need a little bit more here. So what I'm going to do with, okay, and that's it. That's the finished product right there before she goes in the oven. Okay, I'm going to grab the next one. Just grab another pot pie here. And I'm gonna do things a little different on this one. I'm gonna be putting some of the egg wash around the edge as it sits on the board, okay? Just put a little bit around the edge, just so we can get it to stick. And around here, just like a glue. All right, and just pick it up, put it on there, and that just helps to form a nice seal. So once we have that seal, okay, we're gonna be adding some egg wash to the top of this. So we're gonna get our egg wash again, and we're gonna put some on top here, just kind of paint it on. And this is gonna give you a nice golden brown once it goes in the oven. Okay, you're gonna get a lovely color from this. Little egg wash. Look at that. Just like Picasso painting a masterpiece. So that one's all set and ready to go in the oven. And we get our second one here, and we'll just brush it on. The puff pastry itself is something that is store-bought. I didn't make this, I bought it in the store. You can pick this up at any one of your local grocer. And the important thing is you've got to thaw it in the fridge. Don't leave it out to thaw, because it will break down. You don't want to keep it around heat, because it will break down. So you want to keep it in the refrigerator as long as you can. Okay, I just cut it in half, and I just kind of massage it and just trying to stretch it out before utilizing my rolling pin and rolling it out further. You got to make sure you put a little flour down on the board or the countertop that you're using to ensure it doesn't stick. Because once the butter in it, and there's a tremendous amount of butter that goes into making puff pastry, once that starts melting, you're going to be in big trouble. So you got to work with it rather quickly. And just rolling it out, just so we get a good form and we can work with them. Because mind you, I've got to make two. I've got two more pot pies to cover. So I've got to just roll this out thin enough so we can get this on top here. There we go, right in the corner. And we're just gonna go along the edge of the bowl, so we got a nice uniform shape. That's one, and we go for part two. All right. And it's not the quiche. I'm not gonna drop it. I'm about ready to take this pot pie goodness out of the oven. All right, here we go. Look at this. Look at that. One of them just kind of collapsed, but so when I get it out of the oven, I'm just gonna brush on a little bit of butter just to put a nice little sheen on top. This is just perfection. Voila! So what do you guys think? You know, I put a lot of work into this chicken pot pie and it looks absolutely scrumptious, but I'm about to do the taste test. So check this out. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to get this. Let me get me a piece of chicken coming up out of there. Oh, just mouth watering. My goodness. The flavor combinations are just amazing. Let me know how your chicken pot pie turned out. So if you like, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.